All right, let's talk about something that might be hiding inside your company's network right now. And yeah, it sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, but I promise you the danger is absolutely real. We're talking about zombie APIs.
So let's get on the same page real quick. You know how you check your bank on your phone or use a cloud app at work? All of it, runs on APIs. Think of them as the secret messengers that let all our different software talk to each other. They're literally the invisible backbone of, well, everything digital. Now, these APIs get created and, retired all the time. It's just part of the development cycle. But what happens when one of them doesn't get retired the right way? When an old, forgotten API is just left lingering in the shadows of your network, still active, still connected? Well, that's exactly how you get a zombie.
Okay, so let's really break this down. What in the world is a zombie API, and why should you be so worried about it? So, a zombie API, you might also hear it called an orphaned or undead API, is basically an endpoint that's past its expiration date. Maybe a shiny new version came out or a whole project got canceled. But instead of being properly shut down, it just got left behind, abandoned. The scary part? It's still online, nobody's watching it, and it's definitely not getting patched. It's a total ghost in the machine.
And this is a really important point. You've probably heard of shadow APIs, right? Those are the ones that developers spin up without getting official approval. Zombies are different. They were totally legitimate at one point. Everyone knew about them, but now they're just forgotten. So the danger isn't that they're a secret, it's that they've been completely neglected.
And get this, the scale of this problem is just wild. Some studies show that in big companies, up to half of all their APIs could be undocumented or just plain forgotten. Think about that. That means for every single active, monitored API you have, there could be another one just lurking out there, a hidden backdoor. Look, this isn't just some what-if scenario. This is happening right now. These forgotten endpoints are being found and exploited by attackers. So let's talk about the real-world damage these zombies can do when they're left to roam free in your network. And you really can't overstate how urgent this is. A whopping 84% of businesses said they've dealt with API attacks in just the last year. And guess what a huge reason for that is? Yep, zombie APIs. For hackers, they are the absolute easiest way in. They're the digital equivalent of leaving your backdoor unlocked and wide open. So, how does an attack like this actually play out? Well, it's frighteningly simple. Since these zombie APIs are never, ever updated, they're just sitting there full of well-known security holes. Attackers find them, exploit those holes, and start grabbing sensitive data. That alone can lead to huge fines from things like GDPR or HIPAA. But here's the really scary part. Once they're in, they can use that zombie API as a secret launchpad to move laterally, deeper and deeper into your entire network. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Security experts are all over this. A recent report from Akamai points out that these forgotten APIs are one of the top ways attackers get in. I mean, it makes sense, right? For a hacker, it's a no-brainer. Why try to break down the front door when a company just leaves the side door wide open? And this isn't just theory. We saw this in the real world just recently. A major telecom company had a data breach. Thousands of customer records exposed. The cause? A single forgotten zombie API. It's a pretty stark reminder that it only takes one of these things to create a total disaster. Okay, so if the risk is this huge, you have to be asking, why does this keep happening? How are our networks getting so haunted? Well, the answer really comes down to some common problems you see inside almost every modern company. Honestly, it's like a perfect storm of everyday business chaos. You've got dev teams under pressure just trying to ship features, so they push cleanup till later, which, never comes. You've got these ancient, tangled legacy systems that nobody dares touch for fear of breaking something. Then you have teams that don't talk to each other. Dev does one thing, security's in the dark. But the biggest problem of all? Most companies don't even have a complete list of their APIs. And it's simple. You can't protect what you don't even know you have. So the big question is, how do you even begin to fight a threat that's invisible and basically created by accident? Well, you can't just wait for it to happen. You have to be proactive. Let's take a look at what that actually means by seeing how a specialist like Tegra builds a shield against these undead APIs. What Tegra does is they tackle the problem head-on by focusing on the entire lifecycle of an API.
They use this powerful platform, axways-amplify, to build a system that basically keeps an eye on an API from the moment it's born all the way to the day it's safely put to rest. Their whole strategy really boils down to 3 simple but super powerful steps. First step is discover. Like we said, you can't protect what you can't see. So step 1 is just to find and catalog every single API in the entire enterprise. Second is manage. Once you know what you have, you can apply the same consistent security rules to everything. And finally, and this is the key part, securely retire. They put a real process in place to make sure that when an API is done, it's really done, properly and safely decommissioned. No more zombies left behind. And the tools they put in place give you this incredible level of control. We're talking about a central portal where everyone, devs, security, you name it, can see the exact same picture of the entire API landscape. And what's really cool is the real-time anomaly detection. That means if some old, forgotten API suddenly starts showing any signs of life, bam, the system flags it as suspicious right away. This really sums up the difference, right? Before, you're flying blind with hidden vulnerabilities and all these unpatched ways for attackers to get in. You're just sitting on a pile of compliance risk. But afterwards, you have a full inventory. You have security policies that are the same for everything. Compliance isn't this thing you stress about later. It's just built into the system from the start. The result is a network that's not just secure, but way more efficient. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that you just can't afford to play defense anymore. The only real way to win this fight is to be proactive. You need to be constantly discovering what's on your network, and you need strong rules to manage it from cradle to grave. That's how you get rid of these hidden risks once and for all. So, I'll just leave you with this one final question. It's something every single organization needs to ask itself after hearing all this. Do you really know what's haunting your network?